Yes.
It's a dangerous ride.
Glenn used to ride this down the street. No handed, and he would even go around roundabouts.
Crazy stuff happens like that. But yeah, this is Terry. Terry has got in touch with me recently, and he was the second owner of the Midnight Toker. So yeah, spoke to him yesterday, and he got the train down from Manchester this morning.
Well, I waited 30 years to see this.
Did you ever think that it was gonna come back up?
No, I was absolutely convinced it had been broken up and scattered. You know, it's like
that's because that's what happens.
And I did want to. It was a very good friend of mine who really wanted to come with me today, maybe next time. And it was him that kind of put me off. I was like, oh, come on, let's just go up to Darlington. I had nothing to go on. His old address, 241 Geneva Road.
Oh, was this when you were going to...
No, I never went up to... No, it's scattered. You know, there's big gaps. Like a couple of years go by and I don't know what happened. And then this happened.
But what point did... So, after he went away and you bought the bike...
Yeah, right up to 2000, right up to the millennium. The millennium was the last time I saw him face to face.
Is that when you gave it back to him? Or?
No, just prior, maybe 98 or something like that, to Glenn's. But he came down and we stripped it in my garage.
Come past.
I sold it to put the deposit on the first house.
Ah, nice. Well, do you remember how much you sold? Do you remember how much you sold it for?
That 450 quid.
Jesus, Jesus. My friend pulled out a square 4 engine out of a skip in England, and he sold it at Kempton. It was missing everything for 350 quid, just for a messed up engine out of a skip.
Absolutely. Oh, I understand now.
When you gave it back to him, were you like back on working on the oil rig?
Oh, and I worked on it. Yeah, I bought this with the first 3 months' pay from the oil rig. You know what I paid for it?
Go on.
1,000 quid.
That was a lot back then.
It was 76.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. 78.
You could buy. I remember like hearing stories about buying a complete 45 from Fred War, and they were like 50 quid, like up to 300, and yeah. So yeah, you had it. You were riding it after you got it off Glen.
I got it off Glen in 1978, the year we went on the rigs. By the summer of '79, which is 6 months, 9 months, something like that. That's when we got the leak in the petrol tank. Look under here somewhere. It was definitely on this side. And I was heartbroken. There literally were tears in my eyes. I couldn't fucking believe it. You know, this was so.
It's your baby.
Yeah. And at the same time, the only other problem I had was these Gardner carbs. Originally they had float chambers separate to the carb, and Glenn didn't even know. He found out eventually, because fuck's sake, he says, now I know why.
Who dialed it in with to set it all up? Was it him, or he got someone else to do it?
Well, there were two little the needles. Right underneath, one on each car. And fucking hell, I can't remember the rigmarole now. You turn it, you just open the petrol tank up and just leave it like it is for 2 minutes, and it'll be dripping oil, like dripping petrol.
Like old amels do that, and
same
they look like concentric amels, or were they?
I've got pictures.
Yeah,
they're just little square. They're just funny little square bus. They were putting them on.
They're British make of cars.
Yeah, I think they are. And there was a guy I knew at the time who was mad into his just triumphs. I was just a speed freak. He just wanted to get in that, and he actually ended up getting it. That's where they went. But I'm not, and I would never get. I lost touch with that guy many years ago. I think it.
And that's all I've got. All I've got to go on of Dave Stevens.
Yeah, because look, this is why I thought it was an SU, because that's what an SU carb has on the top.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not an SU. Is that the Gardner carb then?
Yes, I'll show you. I've got pictures.
Just go. It's almost there. Is that? Oh, look, there's the foot peg, the famous foot peg.
Yeah.
I was trying to work out where it went.
And he, in all, he did want to do it, but
Yeah.
I'm afraid that got the better. It was just
Can we see some
got a
photos?
bit ridiculous.
I am not. I can. This is. You're going to see these many.
These are big. I can take. I can take copies on my phone. Wow. Jeez.
This was us just fucking about with the camera.
Yeah,
I told
man.
her there was a young lad who was doing a college course.
So, like, what year did it get painted black?
Well, the show was 76. I got it in 70. I would say 77.
I can see why you're saying it's a different seat, because this is more rounded, whereas this is flat.
Yeah.
Flatter on the
1, 2, 3,
Cobra.
4, 5, 6. See, there's not as many.
Yeah, it's not as many rolls. Tuck and roll.
Yeah. So it's the same base.
That,
it's the same.
that distributor cap's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a beehive.
Yeah. There you can see
The penis
Famous.
fender.
the.
The famous penis fender. The negatives.
Just fucking about with it. That's the paint. I've got colour pictures of that, but that was out. That was it when I got it. Painted it black, and
So
this is all
it's
red.
had quite a few different paint jobs then.
Well, only these two that I know of.
Yeah. Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. That is amazing. Is that your family on the right? Is that your
That's-
Daughter who's
Yeah.
she was about 2 there. She's 48 now, I think. Lives in on the Gold Coast.
And a lot of emotion and stuff, because we weren't just biker buddies. It was a bit more than that.
Brothers.
Yeah, it really was like that. So it just faded away.
So when you were moving house, you were taking the bike with you, and just it was ended up a bit like a big paperweight.
Yeah.
Big, yeah. Well, they are sculptures in themselves, aren't they?
Oh.
And just like you can just sit there. Like sometimes I'll just come in here, open up this fold-out chair, and just stare at a bike for an hour.
Yeah,
Just
I
love
mean, I know you hate to hear these things, but I built my bike as a show bike. This was built for the show. That's what it was about. It's like, get all the fucking things are right. And Glenn was fucking brilliant, and we did have
He
fun.
seems
with
like
him, but
so talented, like
Oh,
so fucking talented. Like
his art as well, drawing.
yeah, that's the.
It's
I'd love to see some of his drawings. It's
Stunning.
normally like creative people; they can just translate it
Yeah.
into other things. But you got to be super talented. Like,
Beatrice Rig 35 boarding drilling.
and these are the letters from prison.
1980.
So did he do?
He took the
Did he do?
envelope as well,
Yeah,
remember?
He did
this is
about
amazing.
7 years.
He did 7 years. Yeah.
Literally after.
Watch out. Is
you
there
can- you
stamps
can
from the
read
prison?
you can
Yeah, I'd
read
love to.
You could read these at your leisure.
Oh, look at that.
There is a
HM prison. Old Elder
Durham.
Durham.
I went-
79.
I went visit this. I think there's 5. I used to go visiting, and well, you can see from what.
And how long was Durham from you?
Oh God, 159.
So
Be almost
three,
like coming
4 hour drive.
in.
Honestly, I've been fucking wired. And he,
What did he get? So what was his sentence for? Like, what was the exact sentence? You know?
fucking hell. No, I don't want to know.
Ah.
It was horrendous.
More than just dealing. Was there other things as well? Or?
No, dealing, but I mean big time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
Did he make good money?
heroin and fucking acid.
Yeah.
I know they got caught with.
They say if you get caught with so much acid that it could be like a treason to overthrow the government.
It did get completely out.
Wow.
It really did.
And he was making money.
Well, it must have been.
Well, if he bought a knucklehead engine at some point, he must have been making.
He had a very good job. Well, I say a very good job. When I first met him, the first time I went to Darlington, he says, "Oh, I've got to nip back to work. Just come with me." We went round there, and it was a big, massive warehouse type place that worked. And he was building the trailers for container wagons.
Right. Yeah. Shipping containers.
Yeah.
The
wagon building.
Yeah, the wagons for the
like
containers.
beds,
Yeah. So he's welding and stuff like that, fabricating.
That's what he was. The fabricator, you know. Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
right, yeah. Even my old man, he was quite my dad was a motorcycle courier in the war.
Okay. After you saw the video, what prompted you? How many days or what prompted you to get in touch with me?
I think it was Friday night.
Yeah. So Easter weekend.
So Saturday, Sunday, I spent a couple of hours at least, both days in the loft, compiling all this stuff, and I was quite pleased with it all. But I was very paranoid that I didn't know who I was going to be meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luckily, it's all kind of worked out. But I was just, it's like, well, I've got to get as much proof as I can that look, this is mine. Was mine.
Well,
is
as soon
mine,
as I read
whatever.
the email, I got the vibe that it wasn't someone trying it or anything. Do you know what I mean? Because you mentioned the letters from prison and some other stuff, and I was like, no. And I called you as soon as I read that email. I called you straight away, and then we chatted for a while, and I just got a vibe. No, but it's like amazing, and I feel a bit gutted, but I don't at the same time.
So